Good afternoon, YouTube. So I thought I'd just go over what I'm going to do in my Cymbidiums. The flower stems have been on the plants long enough. I spoke to a lady up in Wellington who actually grew these orchids, all except for, well, she probably did originally, but except for this one. So at least 6 of these orchids came from her. And spoke to her and said, you know, how long should I leave the flowers on? She said it's not recommended no more than sort of 3 to 4 weeks. Well, I know these have been on there far longer than that. So because obviously they're not going to produce a new bulb when it's currently in flower. So I need to grow some bulbs ready for next year for more flowering. So I'm going to cut all these spikes off. It breaks my heart, but they do last forever in water. So I'll do a little display of them in a vase in the house. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut all the spikes off, and then I'm going to come back and discuss with you which ones I think needs repotting. Right, so here we are then. I've cut all the flower spikes off. Reasonably colourful display. I'll take them indoors, and I'm sure they'll look more colourful indoors in the darker light. So what I've decided to, which ones to put on and which ones not to put on, I'll go over with you. So this one back here, Jennifer Wren Yellow, I'm not going to put this one on. This is the one that my orchid buddy gave me, and it's in quite a large pot. It seems to have plenty of room for growth, and I did notice it's got a little spike coming up, so that's good. I always thought they wouldn't produce a spike. Well, they got a flower on them, but who knows. The other two that I'm not going to bother potting on is this one. This one seems to have a bit more room in the pot. When you look, you turn it around, it's got plenty of room this side. I don't know where a new shoot's going to come. Obviously, if a new shoot comes up here, it's going to have less room. But I will eventually pot it on, possibly next year or the year after, into this pot. Now, I just leave them in these pots like this at the moment because it's easier for me to keep them like that, to keep them stood upright for one, because they tend to blow over and get knocked over else. The one behind it, I'm not going to bother to put on either. Let's just go around and have a look at that one. That one seems to have a bit of room. And the media looks okay, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Okay, so the others that I am going to pot on are these 4. Now, the one at the back here, that one's because when I pulled out the stake that was holding the spike up, it felt a little bit mushroomy, composty, you know, and I thought, the media's probably breaking down, and it's quite loose in its pot. If you look, you know, it's quite wobbly. Hang on a minute. You see it's very wobbly in its pot, so that one needs attention. The next one over at the back, this is really bursting out of its plastic pot, so I'm going to put that one on for that reason. This one here, the same. It's quite squished up in its pot. It's very much out of shape. You see the pot's not a very good pot on it. So although it's got space, I'm thinking maybe I'll pop that on, because when you look at it, I think this is the new growth this side. Oh, I don't know, maybe I won't put that one on. Maybe I'll leave that one and see how it goes this year. This one I'm going to pot on because this one really is bursting, you know, the pot's out of shape, etc. Got a new growth coming here, so now it's the time to do them. So I'm going to do those, and yeah, and then I'll show you. I'll put all the Cymbidiums together in the shade house, and I'll show you just how many I've got. Here we are then, we're in the shade tunnel house that my husband made me. So he's actually put this doorway in. It is made of green shade cloth, because I was getting a lot of birds in here digging. Although this is just open, you know, it's open, but it's, you know, it's got weights on the bottom, and hopefully it'll stop some of the birds coming in. So we've got our nice seating area, have a cup of tea. Very important to have your seating areas and to have cups of tea in the house. So we've got space here for 2 more tables. My husband's going to try and get some, either small, large, whatever he can get his hands on really. They're in high demand. lots of people want them for their gardens, for various things, potting benches, etc. So we've got to bide our time and pick up a cable drum whenever we can get it. So back to the Cymbidiums. Look at that lot. Whatever possessed me. This lot here on the left is all the ones that my husband got me from the old orchid nursery, and all the little ones here are back bulbs that I taken off these when I tidied them up and split them all down. This is all the back bulbs. These have not flowered. You know, I've done my best, but they were very old plants, so maybe because they're old they don't flower, but because I've got the space now they can stay there. These ones in the front are ones that I bought last year, and they have not reflowered this year, and I've no idea why. I've been giving them feed, I've repotted some of them, I've no idea. I mean, some of them have got nice growths coming. They look extremely healthy, like there's a nice growth coming. Where is it? You can see it, oh, there, just down through there. I've got a couple of growths coming in the centre. Now they look round, and I've got a feeling they could be spikes, but they're taking their time. They're certainly taking their time. And there's another one down here, but I got a feeling these are growths. So yeah, so bit disappointed that I didn't get any flowers from them this year. But there is autumn. Excuse me, I got a bit of a runny nose. There is autumn. They could flower in the autumn. And then the ones at the back are the ones I got this year. Now, I haven't repotted these 4 yet because I am going to do the 2 Chinese species ones as well. But right now, my back's killing me, basically. I'm going to go and sit down and have a cup of tea. I think my husband's just arrived home. So we'll go and have a cup of tea, and then we'll take the dogs for a walk. So they're going to live on here for the summer now. They're not coming in. They'll be going in that greenhouse, that little greenhouse over there eventually. When the weather, you know, gets inclement, but at the moment they're perfectly okay where they are in here. Okay, so that's all my Cymbidiums, rather a lot. Oh, and one other thing while I'm here, my Bellata is coming away. Very small, but it's getting there. And I also notice I've got quite a few begonias. These are the tuberous begonias that put on a great display last year. And it looks like they're coming away again this year. They've been putting fresh potting mix. I think there's another one. Oh, that one there. That one there as well. I'm hoping this one's going to come away because this is the only one that's got a name. Angela Jane. Anyway, so that's all for now. So please like or dislike and subscribe. And I'll catch you later. Bye for now.